So last year, my investments produced over $400,000 in return, but I didn't always know what I was doing. There was a time when I didn't even know how much I should be investing because nobody teaches this. You hear people say invest 10%, other people say invest 50%, and if you listen to enough financial online advice, you'll hear every number under the sun. But the real answer is much simpler. The percentage you should invest depends entirely on where you are financially and what you are trying to do. So in this video, I'm going to show you how you should invest, how wealthy people think about investing, and how to calculate the exact number you personally should be investing every single month. Because once you understand the math, building wealth becomes a lot easier. So step number one is all about building your safety net first. So before you start investing aggressively, you need a financial safety net. That means building an emergency fund covering at least 3 to 6 months of expenses. Ideally, have this money sitting in a high yield savings account that offer 3%, 4%, or 5% on your money. Banks like American Express, Capital One 360, or Forbright offer generous returns on your savings. Having this nest egg is critical because investing while living paycheck to paycheck creates so much stress and a lot of bad decisions. So imagine trying to invest in the stock market while worrying about whether you can cover a car repair next month. You won't make rational decisions, you'll make emotional ones. And that's why the first priority is all about stability. 3 to 6 months in expenses sitting safely in cash. Once that safety net exists, you can begin investing with confidence instead of fear. Step 2 is understand retirement benchmarks. What do I mean by that? I mean, once your foundation is stable, you need to understand what successful savers actually do. Now, Fidelity did a study where they studied millions of retirement accounts and created simple benchmarks for how much people should have saved at different ages. Here's what they recommend. By age 30, you should aim to have at least 1 times your annual income saved. So when I was 30, my base salary was $56,000 plus bonuses and commissions. I was somewhere around $86,000 for the year. So at 30 years old, my benchmark would have been about $86,000 saved and invested. And just being honest, I was nowhere close to that at age 30. By age 40, that number should be about 3 times your annual income. So if you earn $150,000 a year, your benchmark is to have at least $450,000 saved and invested. By age 50, around 6 times your income, and by age 60, roughly 8 times your income saved for retirement. Now, listen to me, these benchmarks are not perfect, but what they do is they give you a very useful measuring stick. So if you're behind in those numbers, you simply need to increase your investing rate. And if you're ahead, you're doing great. But the key insight is this: wealthy people consistently invest a meaningful percentage of their income for decades. Step number 3, work backwards from your freedom number. Now, here's where things get a lot interesting because instead of guessing how much to invest, you can actually just calculate it. You start by asking a simple question: how much money do I want every year once I retire? So let's say somebody wants $100,000 a year in retirement income. A widely used rule in finance says you need about 25 times your annual spending invested to sustain that income. So this is called the 25 times rule. So if you want $100,000 a year in retirement income, then you're going to need roughly $2.5 million invested. That money can generate income from investments while still growing over time. Now, the math becomes really simple because if your goal is building 2.5 million, once you know your number, you can just calculate what it's going to take to reach it. So let's walk through an example. Imagine somebody is 35 years old and they want to retire around 65. That means they got about 30 years to invest. If their goal is 2.5 million and their investments earn on average about 8 to 10% per year, they would need to invest roughly $1,500 to $1,800 per month. That's it. It's not magic. It's just math. So 30 years of consistent investing at that level gets you very, very close to that number. Now, if somebody wants $200,000 per year in retirement income, their target's going to be around 5 million, which means their monthly investments need to be increased to about $3,000 to $3,500 a month. That's why clarity matters. Once you know your target number, the path becomes super simple and much easier. Step 4, the real investing percentages. So how much should you actually be investing? Here's a simple way to think about it. If you're just getting started, just use my 10-10-10-70 rule. Essentially, save 10% of your income, invest 10% of your income, give 10% of your income away, and literally just live on 70% of your income. So at the beginning, you're going to aim to invest about 10% of your income. This builds the habit of paying your future self first. And as your income grows, that number should move towards maybe 20 to 30% of your income. This is where wealth really starts to accelerate. And once you're at an even higher income, then you keep your lifestyle the same. Now, many wealthy investors start investing 30 to 50% of their income, not because they have to, but because they understand something super powerful, which is your paycheck funds your lifestyle, but your assets are going to fund your future. Step 5, consistency is the real secret. What do I mean by that? I mean, most people think investing is about intelligence. I promise you, it's not. I graduated high school with a 2.2 GPA. It's not about being smart, but it is about being consistent. Someone investing $500 a month over a 30-year horizon, earning about 10% annually, is going to end up with about $1.1 million. Or someone investing $1,500 a month over 30 years, earning around the same 10% annually, is going to end up with somewhere around $3 million. Now, this is not because they are brilliant. It's because they were disciplined. Now, the world's greatest investor, Warren Buffett, once said, the stock market is a device for transferring money from the inpatient to the patient. Patient wins every time. So to recap, how much should you actually be investing? First, build your safety net to 3 to 6 months of expenses saved. Second, use benchmarks like Fidelity's retirement target to track your progress. And then calculate your freedom number using the 25 times rule so that you can work backwards to determine your monthly investment amount. And finally, just invest consistently over time, because wealth really isn't built through guessing. Is built through clear math and disciplined behavior. So if you enjoyed this video, then watch this one next. And if you haven't yet, click that little subscribe button and join the channel family here. Let me know what questions you have that I can answer in future videos. And until next time, say it with me, no lazy money.